Greetings. I'm listening.
Great to meet you.
I've been expecting you.
For the good.
You come get the voodoo.
Hey there.
And you are?
Light be with you.
Great to meet you.
Come to consult the spirits?
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Shiny. Sail here. Me buy and trade. What?
Sail here. Me buy and trade. What?
Hello and welcome to Control Alt WoW, the podcast for those of us who love World of Warcraft and love making many alts. Today is Sunday, February 21st, 2021, and this is episode 696 entitled BlizzConline and What We Learned From It. I'm Aprillian, your host, and with me are my two awesome co-hosts. How are you today, Construct?
I'm feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. It seems like RRL's decided to kick my trash all week. So it's like being in the arena with Mike Tyson and having both hands tied behind your back.
So that means you're going to get one of your ears bit. Oh, never mind.
No. I'm just gonna get mauled.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And how about you, Grandnegus? How are you?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like being in the ring with Mike Tyson, having your hands tied behind your back and trying to protect your ears at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
that's rough.
No, yeah, I have mixed feelings about this last week.
Okay.
But yeah. So
well,
yeah, I feel like my feelings have been in the blender, and someone put the button on like overdrive.
Puree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Puree.
Something like that. So.
Yeah. Well, I am sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I am.
That's what people normally call life.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. It is. 100%. Hopefully it'll get better. I feel kind of bad because I had a really, really, really good week. We had lots of snow.
Oh, yeah.
And I have these icebreakers because I walk to work and I walk home. And my biggest fear always is that I'm going to fall and
slip and fall.
Yes. And I did not. I had no problems at all.
Cool.
And there wasn't any wind. As long as there's no wind, I'm okay. One of my biggest problems, my biggest thing is that I have to cross streets, and sometimes it's not in the right spot because the snow. One thing they do is they do shovel the snow on the sidewalk. But then the snow plow and the snow shovelers leave this ridge between the sidewalk and the street, so you have to climb over it. But anyways, I made it. I'm fine. If you're wondering why my attention's not fully on you, chat room, I am also in Shadowfang Keep, and I'm not used to having to work at this, but it's going.
That's the third one you have to chase away. The other two you got to stay in place.
Right.
The first two guys stay in place, but the third one he runs all over.
Right.
Like a rabid dog.
Yeah. But things are looking up. My mom got her second COVID shot, so I'm very, very happy about that. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
My dad gets his second one in a couple of weeks, so he got his first a week and a half ago. No, Saturday last week, so a week ago yesterday. So yeah.
My spouse was promised hers in March, so it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the best part was there wasn't any, harsh side effects. She felt a little funny, and my sister went over and spent the night with her just to make sure. And then she was okay. I'm waiting because even though I'm a frontline employee, I have to wait for phase 2, which is still in phase 1. And somebody, I won't even address how I know them, was trying to give me tips on how to cheat. Go in, tell them you have pre-existing conditions, whatever. But I would not feel comfortable jumping the line. Plus, it seemed to me that it would be karma. Like, I'd say, oh, I've got this. The next thing you know, bam. Oh, I do have it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm wearing my mask and stuff and washing my hands and staying away from people and stuff. So,
Yeah.
anyways, life is good for me. And I'm sending you all positive energy. And everybody else out there, anybody that listens to us in Texas, oh, I feel you.
Yeah, it's horrible not to have water.
And not to be able to handle it.
Necessity.
I mean, one thing we are fortunate, you and me, Constructs, is we know what to do with snow. You know, we know how to handle snow. You know, we're used to it. But they weren't. And it was very ironic because the other day it got up to 36. And I went, yay, it's 36. And they were going, it's 36 degrees. So, you know, one woman's 36 is another one's, one woman's happy 36 is another one's, you know, disheartened. But yeah. So, well, let's get started. Oh, so, should we start with BlizzCon or should we start with, what's going on this week?
Let's start with the overarching
what's going on? Okay. So, still Love is in the Air is still going on, and which was kind of weird because Lunar Festival came and went in the middle of Love is in the Air. And so you have one more day to try for your love rocket.
Well, you technically have Tuesday, some limited time on Tuesday as well.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think, depending on... No,
it ends at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm going to put this out tonight, so if you're listening to this on Monday, you can still do your Love is in the Air. You're right.
I mean, technically, if you're in Australia, I'm not sure if you're that much in the future that it's technically Tuesday for you.
Right.
But, yeah.
What else is going on?
What else do we have? We have the time walking and PvP brawl cooking impossible ending. And then we have the arena skirmishes starting on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we have the micro holiday hatching of the hippogriffs. Yeah, the micro holiday that is in Ferralis, where you can do a couple of quests and then get a little hippogriff hatchling to follow you around that is on your shoulder for a certain duration, certain time. So yeah, that's learn a little more about the hippogriffs and protect them from the evil what are they called? Yetis? Yeah.
Yetis.
Yeah, so if you want to ensure their survival, go down to Ferralis and protect them, the little hatchlings. And that's an all-day Tuesday event. So basically starts on Tuesday at 1 minute past midnight and ends on Tuesday at 1 minute before midnight. So it's like all day as per usual for the single day micro holiday events.
Right.
Other than that, there isn't much going on. And then we have the big elephant in the room.
Yes.
That came and went. BlizzConline. I like the wordplay, and Blizzard has always been great in wordplay and in that. So it doesn't surprise me that someone there came up with that name. So yeah, that's
it was strange to see the stages, and at the same time there wasn't the room there. There was all the actors, the play was on, but the audience wasn't in the room.
The audience wasn't in the room.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of
correct. That was like a little off-putting.
Yeah. Well,
It was like something.
you have to get used to it for a bit.
Something missing. There was like the flair of it all.
Yeah.
But it was nice that they tried. Considering,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But it was more
informational.
It was more like an info dump. Someone said, than an actual event. It was more like this sounds harsh, but like a
commercial?
promotional drive,
Yeah.
I wanted to use a different word starting with P, but okay, that one's as good as the other one.
On PBS.
So stuff that we talked about last week got confirmed and affirmed. 9.0.5 will be, that's the confirmation, will be launched in March. And the affirmation was, I think that's how you can phrase it, is that the Wandering Ancient will come out soon, as in when 9.0.5 hits. So as soon as 9.0.5, when that goes live, and you log in to with your first character on retail, you will automatically get the Wandering Ancient mount.
Oh, nice.
So they had a little development. I think it was like 5, 10, 15, something like that, minutes long video of how they came up with it, how they went about making it. It was really nice to see how much work goes into making a mount, and what type of work, like with the person that does the voiceover, because it's got
to have a sound.
It's got to have a sound, and since it isn't a humanoid,
right?
It's an elemental, but still it's bipedal species in this case.
Right.
So they and we know that the ancients that they speak to us in several quests.
Right.
So they have the capability of speaking. So they showed some clips of how the voiceover actor went about making the audio for the Wandering Ancient, and I'm as you know, I'm a sucker for voiceover, and it's just so awesome to see what goes into the prep,
right?
Finding out what sources can produce, and this goes beyond the Wandering Ancient, and it goes into the sounds of the Shadowlands, I think the panel was called, and into the other sound panels. When you see what they do to produce the sounds that then are being used for the various parts of the game, or games, multiple, it's just insane to have to think the way that these people do. How can we produce a sound like that? What will it take in real life,
right,
to produce the sound that we can then use for a fictional sound source? I mean, if you have a chain and you play with the chain, that's easily reproduced. You just take a chain in real life, move that around a little, hold a mic to it, and that's a chain.
Right.
Right.
But to create our own language.
Yeah. But if you have a non-existent environment, non-existent natural environment in a fictional setting, and you want to produce, say, wind in conditions that don't
actually exist in the real world.
Yeah, they don't actually exist. Yeah, exactly. How would that sound? And how would you reproduce it? It's just so cool for the people to try to think the way that these people that are responsible for the sounds, how they do that. I just love it. And if you haven't watched these panels yet and you were interested in it, you should definitely go and watch it. Sadly, in my opinion, most of the segments, most of the panels were shorter than they are in the physical BlizzCon for whatever reason. Maybe because they can cut the in-betweens. Right. You don't have to quote unquote sit through the people coming on the stage and walking off the stage. That's two, 3, 4 minutes.
They didn't have to account for movement in different rooms.
Exactly. So, and then they can because everything was pre-recorded, there was nothing live there, which I totally understand, which is totally fine.
Right. And it makes sense.
Yeah, it's not a complaint at all. But you can cut stuff like applause. There is 10, 15, 20 seconds of applause at various points in the panel. You don't need that. You can cut that out. So that adds up into minutes, 5, 10 minutes in total. So that's why subjectively the segments feel shorter or are numerically shorter. It's just that you have to know why that is to understand it. and people say, "Oh yeah, you have like 15 or 25 minutes of segments of panels." But on the other hand, again, if you take out the walking on stage, walking off stage, the applause, the whatever else, then you add the 10 minutes and you're up to 45 minutes. And that's a normal thing, right. normal length. If you then count the 10 minutes of Q&A at the end. So there are these things. It's just, you always want more. And I think that's the essence of it all is you can never get enough of stuff. You always want more. You want more information. You want more because you watch it because you're interested in it.
Right.
And if it's information about stuff you don't know yet and you want to know, there's never enough time in the day even. You could sit there for hours on end and watch them talk about that stuff. That said, we didn't get much new information other than the information that was dumped a day earlier. Then it was intended because someone had a mishap, but we're not going to go into that. And I feel so sorry for that. I know, person.
I feel bad for that person.
It must be like so disheartening to have that happen for you, where you just have apparently it was just a numerical error where they changed, where they swapped two numbers in a date, in a release date, apparently.
Right.
It was yeah. So what can we expect to see for the people that haven't followed everything? And I haven't gone through everything yet because there was
a lot.
It was a lot, not necessarily a lot at the BlizzConline, but there are accompanying interviews that I haven't watched and read all of them yet. So if I remember correctly,
I saw a panel with Jeremy Fiesel where he talked about flying and different things. So that was quite good. And,
no, but I'm talking about the interviews outside of the event that we didn't that weren't part of it, that were released after the show was over. So it was, let me just quickly see if I can find it. There were Eurogamer had an interview, Blizzard Watch had an interview, Polygon had an interview, PC Gamer had an interview, So Breezy had an interview, Mr. GM had an interview, Starling Zone had an interview, WoW had an interview, if I'm remembering correctly. So there were like 6-7 interviews that they had recorded in the days prior to the event and then dumped after it was over. And all the content there is I haven't gone through all of it. But what I've found so far, in a nutshell, is basically that the PTR for 9.1 will release shortly after 9.0.5 goes live. So we don't have to wait that long. I think it was Taliesin that said in his latest show that his worst case scenario would be like September-ish for 9.1. That would be like 1 year of 9.0. That would be like insanely long, which isn't going to happen. If you think about it, that once 9.0.5 releases, which is sometime in March, as I said earlier, if it's the latter part of March, I would expect that we might see the PTR for 9.1 sometime in early April.
Okay.
And then have 3 months, 2.5 to 3 months of PTR. That would bring us to July. So June, July is what I expect for us to see. Maybe very early August at the latest, at the very latest. That's still a month, only a month away from Tally's September, but still, but that's still quite a long haul to have a 0.0 patch. So, and that's definitely why they had to insert the 9.0.5 patch, because as I started talking about earlier, we haven't seen anything or hardly anything. I think we saw 2 or 3 concept art pieces in the media package dump that they released a day earlier. And if they're only at the concept art stage now, with most of it, that they have to show us, that's quite some work they still have to do. So, yeah.
They mentioned how they have to learn to work from home. And this is most of the Blizzard team is not like that. They like coming to work and just going 3 doors down to inquire questions. Now they have to do Zoom meetings.
We completely understand. I don't think there is anyone that doesn't understand the reasons why. It's just that it's the game consumption rate, the content consumption rate of a modern game, regardless of what IP is behind it, is so high that it's detrimental to the IP itself, to the game itself, and people will go and unsub from the game for a couple of months at least, and that means that, and I would say, thank God for Blizzard that they've started with that 6-month lure with the mount. Because had they not done that, quite a few more people, my prediction, would go and unsub from WoW when they've reached and consumed all the content that they can. So I think that that is quite. It's a predicament I don't want to be in as a developer.
Right.
on the one hand, you want to deliver a awesome product, which you can, which is fair to expect as a player, as a consumer. But on the other hand, no one tells you when that content is supposed to be delivered, yet you want continuous updates as a consumer. Once you run out of food, your fridge is empty.
Right.
You want a grocery store or a butcher that can restock your fridge, so you don't go hungry or die of starvation or whatnot. That's just the nature of things.
Yeah.
So there is that give and take, the push and pull between the consumer, that is the gamer, and the developer that provides the content. Okay, so 9.1 whatever comes out shortly after the 9.0.5 hits live, which includes a new raid, the Sanctum of Domination, the 10 boss raid.
Right.
And my most dreaded thing to happen ever.
Okay.
Because apparently we're going to go up against my queen.
Oh.
So,
yes, I thought of you as soon as they announced that.
So that's yeah. That's something that I'm not happy about. And yeah, how that fight is going to end will determine my future with WoW Retail.
Oh. So if it doesn't go your way,
yes,
you will be...
Basically, yes.
It'd be the same thing if my rogue, all of a sudden, they deleted the class. I'd just throw in the towel.
Yeah, no, it's
as much as I love the game, I play to be a rogue. I understand that completely.
I will not play a game, a WoW version where Sylvanas is dead.
Yeah.
In current content. I will not. I refuse to do that. So I'm not saying I'm going to quit WoW, because thankfully there are classic and
right. She will be alive for a while in classic.
Oh, she will always be alive in classic. I mean, the night elf bouncy thingy,
yeah,
something that's a totally different something. But yeah, it's something where I just can't bring myself to do that. And yeah, so that's, I mean, I don't want to say it looks like it, and I don't want to say that the chances are X or Y
right.
for her surviving or dying. I don't know, quite frankly. We have indications that have the pendulum lean one way and then the other way as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. What they have said is that the outcome of the fight will change Shadowlands permanently and very significantly.
Yeah.
So
she's cheated death before, but this time, like, the stakes are higher.
I don't want to call it cheat death. I want to because she died.
Yeah.
All the 3 times that she died, she did die.
Right.
Yeah.
She was just brought back to a form of undeath because she's never been alive after Arthas killed her.
Right.
But yeah, so death has its claws in her. It's just that what she is. If you go and watch the Warbringer Sylvanas video, you will see that on the field outside of Silvermoon when she shushes away the mother with her child.
Yeah.
And then Arthas comes up and stabs her, and then you see the cloud, and then you see the red-eyed face coming out of the cloud. That's not the entirety of Sylvanas. That's, as far as I'm concerned, and this is not a wishful thinking concern. This is
this is from empirical knowledge.
No, it's not that either. It's what I gather from other similar events.
Right, that's knowledge that you know from.
No, it's not, because we don't know if it's that exactly, but it's like, again, similar.
Okay.
If you watch the Uther cinematic, you see that when he gets stabbed, you can see his soul rising up and then splitting apart into a silvery and a golden part.
Right.
And then the one part of the soul gets sucked into Frostmourne and the other goes off to the Shadowlands.
Okay.
Something, in my opinion, something similar happened to Sylvanas, where the aspect that her soul got split as well, but Frostmourne didn't consume let's put it the other way. We don't know that Frostmourne didn't consume her kind part, her positive part, but the evil part that you've seen come out of the cloud, of the black-brown cloud, that was pure evil. That's why she is what she is, because it's raw emotion. It's one emotion. And that aspect is what Arthas needed her to be. And that's how it is. So that aspect, that evil part of her soul got shoved into the banshees, or was made into a banshee.
Right.
So that's why I've always said she is evil. The soul, the part of her soul that is in her body is evil, and there's no debating that.
Right. But it's not her fault. She's like Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, it's not her fault. No,
she was just made that way.
Exactly. And that's the same thing. That's the exact same thing that happened if you watched the video, the cinematic with Arthas. At the end, he asked his father, "Is it over?" So his torture is over, and then you see the other cinematic of the Bastion cinematic, where you see where Uther and can't remember what the Kyrian is called, what her name is. Yeah. They go and pick his soul up and take it to the maw. Mm. That's the evil part of Arthas as well. It's most likely not guaranteed, but most likely a similar split. And the same thing with Anduin. But Anduin, this time, it's the cinematic that we saw on Saturday. No, on Friday. With Anduin. This is the first time that the jailer, which controlled Arthas, which stabbed Sylvanas, which controlled and dealt with Arthas and Uther, all these souls, the three, have been split into and the evil parts have been extracted.
Right.
But Anduin now is the first time where that didn't happen, where he had to enforce control, mind control, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Domination over a intact soul with the good and the bad in it.
Right. Which is a little bit harder.
Which is a little bit harder, but it's a totally different aspect because Anduin is as a human being needs to be a potential king sometime again. So they just can't rip out the kind part of his soul and store it somewhere.
Right.
So same thing with Varian. Onyxia split his soul into Logash, the evil, the gladiator, and Varian, the
diplomat,
weak,
if you will.
No, the weak. I don't want to say childlike, but like much like in the best analogy would be the Star Trek episode where they split Kirk into two, where you had the evil Kirk and the good Kirk. One of the last episodes.
Right. Well, he was possessed by a woman.
Still.
Yeah, but it was still. But
yeah, they were duplicate. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He was split.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's basically the same thing that happened to Varian, where Onyxia took the soul and split it up into a good and an evil, a weak and a strong mind. And Anduin needs to be whole, needs to stay whole for the continuation of the story. So they just can't use him in the way that they used his father or Arthur's Uther or Sylvanas. So they're in a predicament in the way, as much as they want to display him as evil under the control of the jailer, they just can't do that. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing where I'm really looking forward to how they are going to deal with Sylvanas, to bring it back to my predicament with Sylvanas, how they're going to do it. Are they maybe even going to find her good soul?
Right.
Somewhere, along with others, like along with Uther's soul, with King Tyrannus' soul, with so many other souls that have been sucked into Frostmourne. We don't know what happened in there. We know that Uther was able to come out and talk to us in the dungeon, in the halls of reflection. He talked to us, so he wasn't gone. And he had a somewhat sane mind. He was not insane. He could articulate himself quite well and warn us that we had to go and watch out because, Arthas would do this, that, and the other. So it's not necessary. And the same with Tyrannus, with Arthas' father, after he died, or after we defeated him, before he died. Tyrannus came out and and basically said there must always be a Lich King talking to Tyrion Fordring,
right,
and talking to us too, and he wasn't insane at all. Mm-mm. So the souls, from what we see there, from what we gathered there with the communication we had with these two, aren't necessarily going insane, or didn't go insane inside the sword. The question is, where did all these souls go? Because if you look at the cinematic of the defeat of Arthas, you see that these souls are all swirling around and then going up somewhere, going away somewhere, except Tyrannus. He just stays behind, talks to us, and then he leaves. So where did they go? And up in, what's above the frozen throne. Above the frozen throne is the Shadowlands.
Oh,
is
right.
Torghast. Right. So that would make sense that they go up into the Shadowlands. That would make perfect sense. So are they there, some of them? We don't know. But that would be an out, quote unquote, for quite a few of the people that Arthas had killed and then sucked the souls out of. Because far from all of the people that he sucked the souls out of got converted the way that Uther, Sylvanas, and himself got dealt with by Frostmourne. But again, I'm having way too much fun. But this is not Control or lore. So,
right.
But yeah, it's
still interesting, and the whole thing, And I understand how you feel about Lady Sylvanas. So I don't know. I'm hoping.
Yeah, it's something that that you can look at in so many different ways. Okay, back to the chains of domination. Wait, sorry, chains of domination, because that's what the patch is actually called. I didn't mention that yet. The new raid, Sanctum of Domination, and then we have a new mythic only for now mega dungeon. So the new version of Karazhan was the first mega dungeon. Then we had Mechagon on the island of the same name.
Yeah.
And now the third one is what is it called? I don't know. It's like one of the broker.
It's the broker dungeon.
Yeah, it's a dungeon.
It has its own auction house.
No,
That's
dungeon?
crazy.
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it has quite a few interesting
attributes.
Little Tazavesh, the Veiled Market is what it's called. So, question is it Cartel Ta? Because a little insight for people that don't know. If you meet any of the brokers, regardless of where they are, they have their letter consists of 2 letters, then an apostrophe, and then the rest of the name. The 2 letters at the beginning of the name, in front of the apostrophe, indicates what cartel they are from. So it's specific, the name is built in that specific way. But there is no apostrophe in Tazavesh, so we don't know. But again, it's just for people that wonder what that apostrophe means and they didn't know yet. That's how that works with the cartels, with the broker cartels. You can determine that what cartel they are part of. It's with Venari. She's part of Cartel V because it's Venari. So again, it's an 8-boss dungeon, like all the mega dungeons. It will be eventually split into 2. For now, it's a Mythic 0 dungeon. And when, most likely in 9.2, when it's going to be split up, it's going to be converted into a Mythic and Mythic Plus Keystone dungeon, and it's going to have its heroic little brother or sister, whatever, sibling, split in 2 again, much like or identical to the Mythic Plus version, with 4 bosses each. And we are going to have a what do they call it? We're going to chase. We're going on a, how do they phrase it? They don't say it here in the list, but it's more like we have to gather or prevent the brokers from stealing artifacts from Azeroth. So we are going to go to 3 different places on Azeroth, trying to prevent the respective boss from stealing stuff from Azeroth. Whether that's going to be, and this would be really interesting, they didn't mention it if this is the case or not. I'm just inserting my wish even for that.
Right.
Where, if you remember back to End Time, the Cataclysm dungeon.
Yeah.
We have 4 dragon shrines, but we only get 2 plus the bronze one per run.
Yeah.
So what if there is a collection of, say, 9 different possible fights, of which we get 3 on a random basis per dungeon run for the last 3 bosses?
That would be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. That's like something where I could see that would give the entire way of running, and it would bring diversity into the experience. It wouldn't make the run so monotonous. At least not the one of the two wings, because the first wing is in the bazaar, and the second wing has the first fight in the bazaar, and then the fights 2 through 4 are then the ones where you chase the bosses across Azeroth. That would be really interesting to see if they could do that.
Right.
Or if they're willing to do that, conceptualize a potential 9-boss potential random thing, because they did this kind of the same thing where they reused the invasions we had on Argus that you had to do for Illidan to get to do the weekly quests.
Right.
You had the 3 minor ones, and then you had the big major invasion, or whatever it's called. And they reused those art assets and areas for other purposes. So, and since we already have most of the art assets in Azeroth, in my opinion, it's quote unquote only minor tweaks, minor additions, and the boss fight that needs to be developed. Most of the art assets, if it's really on Azeroth, is there already, right, if you want it to be. So, yeah. Awesome. We will also have a new zone in 9.1, but not a normal zone. We will have, if you remember the last bits and pieces of the cinematic we saw, the one with Anduin, you saw that there were 2 chains that were going up to a island in the sky, so to speak.
Right.
That the jailer was looking up at when he said something to that effect of the death should never be chained, or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that landmass that is chained there is going to be the new zone that we are going to explore. It's called Corthia, City of Secrets. And that is apparently where the 2 art assets I mentioned earlier, the concept art, comes in. To me, they look Suramar-esque. Something like Venice. If you were to ask me what city in the real world Suramar reminds you of, for me, that's Venice, with the bridges, the low bridges.
In the water, right?
Yeah. And similar, if you look at the artwork there, you can see there is a bridge, the houses, the water, what are they called? The waterways there. Looks that way, looks quite similar to Suramar. So, and since it's a city, it's literally called Corsia City of Secrets. So, yeah. I'm really interested in seeing what that brings with it. And since Surumar is one of my favorite, if not the favorite zone in all of Legion, I'm totally down for that. Absolutely. If we get a similar experience there.
Right.
Yeah.
And apparently the jailer is very interested in something that is, I don't want to say hidden in Corsia, on Corsia, whatever, but apparently he's looking for something there.
Right.
So it's only hidden for you if you don't know where to look.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's that I really look forward to. And if you're in the mall, because Corsia is going to be a new part of the mall, and we all feel kind of similar when it comes to the mall. The mall has never been a favorite zone for anyone, I would assume.
Right.
That's about to change in a way where the eye of the jailer, that indicator, is going to go poof, go away in a way. And all the detrimental effects that it has on our gameplay and our duration of how long we can stay there, that all goes away. No more limits on how long you can stay in the mall. We are going to learn more about the eye of the jailer, which is that indicator.
Right.
We are apparently going to fight the eye of the jailer in a way in the raid. Apparently, if I don't misremember, which is totally possible. And someone said that if you remember back to Stormheim, you know the guy with the big flamey beard, Odin.
Right.
Right.
He only has one eye. And that's for a good reason. Because his second eye is somewhere in the Shadowlands.
Interesting.
So, eye of the jailer and Odin only having one eye, his eye being somewhere in the Shadowlands, that's a similarity I quite frankly refuse to believe is not coincidental. And they said, quite frankly, they said as much, that Steve Denusa said that if people of, something to the effect of, if there are people that are fans of Odin and want to know more about why his eye is missing and something like that, you're going to get some answers.
Right.
So yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting. And flying. We are going to get flying in 9.1.
Yep.
As we were promised quite a while back. The only question was, how are we going to get it? And what they've said now is they basically told us that as long as you finish your Covenant Quest campaign.
Oh.
Yeah. It's part of the campaign.
It's part of the campaign. I would assume, and they didn't specifically say, They said if you finish the Covenant campaign, they didn't say, oh, you finished the first leg of it. But they didn't say you have to finish the 9.1 edition of it, which I assume is what they meant to say. But they didn't specifically phrase it that way. I'm under the impression that they meant to say, once you completed the second part of the Covenant campaign that we will give you access to in 9.1, and you finished it all, then you will be able to fly. That's my take on what they meant to say. We will be able to fly in the 4 Covenant zones. We will not be able to fly in them all, which means we will not be able to fly in Corsair either, because that's part of the mall. We will not, and they didn't say as much, but I would assume we will not be able to fly in Oribos either, because that's not part of the 4 Covenant zones. It's not a Covenant zone. So Bastion, Maldraxxus, Revendreth, and Ardenweald are the 4 areas where you can fly. Can you fly from one to the other? You cannot, because they are separated quite heavily. It's like, can't remember who said it, but they said something to the effect of, if you were given the ability, you would literally have to fly 30 minutes, an hour, something like that, to get from one to the other. That's how long it is. That's why you have that special in-between
buffer
flight speed boost.
Yeah.
Because it's still the distance between Oribos and the respective zones is just that long. So, yeah. Flying after completing the Covenant campaign, and you can fly in the 4 Covenant zones. You will get, as a reward for unlocking flying, you will get a Covenant-specific flying mount.
Yeah.
There's everything from a bug to a flying fox.
Necrolord have a bug. Whatchamacallit? The Venthyr, I forget what they have, but the flying fox is the Night Fae, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So there are 4 Covenants so far, and there are 4 different special mounts that are only obtainable through that method, at least so far. There are different color variations, and we don't know. Someone made the point yesterday, can't remember where I've seen this, just remember them talking about it. There are different color variations for each of them. So it technically could mean that there is a similar mechanic of obtaining them as there were in the Legion with the class mounts.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There is a possibility that, like, for instance, the priests and the mages have different color palettes depending upon what spec they are in.
Right.
Paladins have different mounts altogether, the same as warlocks and hunters and warriors, I think. DKs have one mount, period, full stop. Alexstrasza wouldn't have been. She's mad at you still for going after one of her children. Right. Imagine if you were going after 3 of her children, she would be like, yeah, she would like tear you apart when you came to her next. And you have to go to her as a DK as well in one of the, if you play a Night Fae DK, you have to go to her in the in the Covenant campaign.
Right.
So, and she lets you know in no uncertain terms that she didn't approve of your actions. So, yeah, that was, and now imagine you dealt with 2 more of her children in similar ways. I don't think you would have survived, quite frankly. And I can't blame her, not at all. So, yeah, so much for flying. Covenant armor sets. We are going to see new Covenant armor sets. They are solely cosmetic.
Yeah.
Much like the previous cosmetic set that you can obtain. They didn't say if you have to obtain them the same way. What I mean by that is piece by piece, or if you can obtain them as a set, as a complete set.
They said it was akin to heritage armor. It didn't matter if it was leather, mail, or plate. It would always have the same appearance. That's
a different aspect. But yes, you're correct. It's the same with the Fey Dragon set, the other set, what's the other one called? There was another set that we had.
PvP armors?
No. Heritage armor is the one. Then you have the other set that you could get. I'm looking through the Vindigo, the Vindigo woolies. That's a cosmetic set as well, and is a set as well that you obtained as a set and not as individual pieces.
Right.
So again, I wonder if we are going to get to buy the set as a set and not as individual pieces. But what you said, Contracts, is correct that
like cloth, mail,
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter what armor type your character is, since it is cosmetic. And by definition, a cosmetic piece is automatically a piece that can be transmogged to any piece of gear, regardless of its armor type. Yeah. So that is a nice thing.
Yeah.
It gives you the chance to mix and match. For me especially, I was very disappointed when the initial Necrolord armor set that you got by doing the initial campaign didn't have a robe; it just has pants. If you are for the cloth wearers, in my opinion, if you have a cloth set, you need to give them at least the option to have a robe or a skirt. What's it called? A kilt.
A kilt, yeah.
Ish. Yeah. At least give me the option of choosing between one or the other.
Interesting.
So you can have a 9-piece set that consists of 10 pieces effectively, where you can choose between, do I want a robe or do I want a vest? Do I want a pair of pants or do I want a kilt? Something to that effect. So you can, or give me both, whatever. So if you pay for the chest piece, you get the robe and the vest. Or if you pay for the pants, you get the pants and the kilt. So those two options are the ones that would influence your legs. It's quite sad that they didn't do it, because with the and I'm confident enough to say that you can have the variety of it. There are sets where you have the ability to decide which you want. Since I'm on a plate wearing class, I don't have it in front of me, but there are, I know there's at least one set where you have an additional piece of gear that basically is that option. Right. So, yeah, cosmetic Covenant armor. Really happy with the looks as well. The Night Fae this time around are the ones that have the same issue that I just mentioned with the with the pants versus the robe. So Blizzard, if you're listening, change that. Add the quilt piece. Add a robe option. Which of the two? I don't care. Just if you have a leather wearing class or a cloth wearing class, and you don't have the option to have a robe, that's just not right, in my opinion. Yeah. And then, with regards to the Covenant, the last thing I want to mention, well, the second to last aspect, is that apparently we are going to see, or we will see that Blizzard has cut back on the variety of Covenant campaign content. Oh. Because apparently they said something to the effect of now after the thing that happened, after the actions that Anduin took, let's frame it that way, carefully for people that haven't seen it yet.
Right.
We, as covenants, or the covenants come together to go after the jailer, which means come together as one. That means that out of 4 Covenant campaign stories, we get 1. So they merge into one story where there was variety in individuality for the respective covenants. Now we have a singular campaign story that is, for the first time, singular, because at the beginning of the campaign feature, we had the Order Hall features, the Order Hall campaigns, where each and every class has had its own campaign. 12 of them altogether. Then we went down to 2 for the war campaign in BFA.
Right.
1 alliance, 1 horde. Then we went back for 9.0 to 4, 1 for each covenant. And now for the very first time, there is only 1 story. Regardless of your faction, horde or alliance, regardless of your covenant. Venthyr, Maldraxxi, Necrolord, Kyrian, or Nightshade. Doesn't matter. You get 1 story now. There will be, they said, like, this or that NPC will take you aside and tell you stuff individually that's relevant, or like flavor communications that relate and identify you as part of this, that, or the other covenant.
So it will be personalized.
A little but
bit.
But far from a unique covenant-specific story. I'm not sure what I think about this. I totally understand that if it's a thing where everyone goes after the same goal, then that's you all drive on the same road to get to the same goal, to the same destination.
Yeah.
But it still matters whether you drive a sports car or pickup truck or whatever. That still matters. So I'm not really sure if that's the easy way out, or if they have to compromise, because, as we mentioned earlier, and as we all know, COVID has had its effects on so many aspects of the game. And I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's just that, in my opinion, I play the game for lore.
Right.
And having seen them cut that back quite drastically, actually. Out of 4 stories, we get 1. That's quite significant. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that for the people that didn't know that we are only going to... The continuation might be that there is like 1 or 2 chapters of the campaign where you see the campaigns getting into the bottleneck.
Right.
And then continuing on that one lane of the road. But overall, it's only going to be one story. And then the last thing that they mentioned with regards to Covenant or with regards to gameplay is the fact that Corsia apparently will have a new gameplay mechanic, and that they I think if I remember correctly, they dubbed it reverse invasions, where until now we were invaded. In Legion, we had the Legion invading the 5 zones. In PFA, we had the respective factions invade the other island. Now we are taking the war. We are invading Corsia, the more. So basically, they said that if you've played the Maldraxi, the Necrolord Covenant, and I think by now it's not too big a spoiler. You basically hijack an Necropolis to then take into war to defeat various houses in Maldraxxus. And how cool would it be? They said, they didn't say this is going to happen, but they phrased it along the lines of how cool would it be if the Maldraxxi, as the quote-unquote warrior covenant, would take that necropolis into Corsia as an attack base for the covenants. So I think that's interesting that we are going to do the invading rather than being the invaded.
Right.
So, yeah, with that said, we have 2 more. We have the last topic of 9.1 are the soul binds, which are the borrowed power that I've been so mad about. Which they of all the borrowed power so far, this is the one that works the best, in my opinion. They found a really good balance. So the soul binds are the people that you borrow the power from. You bind your soul to theirs, the NPCs, and you borrow some of their power to empower yourself. And in addition to that, you get the conduits that you can place in a UI to enhance your powers, some powers further. There are 3 different people that you can choose to soul bind with, one at a time, always. There will not be in 9.1 at least, no new soul bind NPCs. So it will stay at 3. But we will see that some of or maybe any of them, of the conduits that you place in the soul bind UI, can be empowered, meaning they can be extra powerful, obviously.
Right.
So, and we are going to see new rows of soulbind abilities, likely additional conduit slots as well. So I really look forward to that. And they said that they might even thinking of adding the possibility to empower or having conduits that manipulate your covenant signature abilities.
Oh.
Which you don't have yet. So that would be interesting. And then the very last thing, just that's the other big news from the World of Warcraft, and that's the Burning Crusade Classic announcement.
Right, that was great.
Yep.
The cinematics for that and the enthusiasm for that was really good. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Burning Crusade has always been one of the favorite expansions of all time.
Right, the Blood Elves and the
Blood Elves and Draenei.
Right.
Space Goats.
Space Goats.
Even though, and this is where it's always been for me personally, oxymoron.
Space Goats?
No.
Oh.
No. People say that it's their favorite, TBC is their favorite expansion. If you ask people where do you want to go the least likely, where's the,
always Burning Crusade. Outland.
Burning Crusade, I'm never going to go back there. It's like so not going to work. Anywhere but there.
Anywhere but there, yes.
And yet it's most people's favorite expansion.
My lore master of Burning Crusade, I think I did the little Red Valley when you first come out, and that's it. I can't do the rest. I just
I'm just saying
too many. Go fetch this and then go back the same spot you were and fetch me 20 more.
Yep, it's the contradiction of the World of Warcraft, the most obvious contradiction, in my opinion. How can you tell me honestly that it's your favorite expansion and still, when it comes to where do you want, if you could pick one area you don't want to go to, 9 out of 10 people say Outlands.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I guess I'm the 10th. I like Outlands. Remember, I chose it for one of my tunes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm glad
I'm just saying.
Your approval.
Yeah, I'm just saying the other 9 people have issues. Not that I'm saying it's not okay to have issues. I'm just saying I don't understand it.
Yeah. Some people don't like Vajir. The swimming. They can't do the 3D environment. And I love it. I don't mind.
Yeah. And I know Dylan from Babylon 5 rightfully said, understanding is not required. Just acceptance.
She just passed away too, didn't she?
Yep.
No.
Yep, Myra Furlong. Yep. Yep, she did.
She was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
She was the soul of Babylon 5. Yep.
Oh,
yes.
No other TV series, as successful as Babylon 5 has suffered so many deaths in their in their cast as they have.
Yeah.
I mean, the Doctor is dead. Jakar is dead.
Yeah.
Now Dylan. At least one more.
Bill Mummy?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
He's still alive. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
At least one more. So that's 4 or 5 people out of a cast of. Wasn't it Sinclair?
Yeah, Sinclair.
I think Sinclair is dead.
Bruce Boxleitner?
No. Was it Sinclair? No, the other guy.
No, that was Sheridan.
Sheridan, yeah. Isn't he dead? I think he's dead. I think. But again, I might be on the wrong track there. But yeah, again, it's something that so.
Can I just say something about BlizzConline?
Sure.
I was waiting for 30% off on the base Shadowlands, and they haven't delivered. 30th anniversary, give me 30% off. Because I already have 2 editions of it. I want one more for my third account. And it's like, upgrade still available. 100% full price.
Yeah, you're right. That
would have been nice.
That would have been a perfect timing. Yeah,
I would have upgraded as fast as my fingers could type the credit card number.
Oh, one more thing. Yeah. Did you see about the arcade games?
Yes, Blackthorn.
Yeah.
Call
of Duty.
Rock and Roll Racing.
Orcs versus Human. It's all in there.
No.
Diablo 2 is back.
No, arcade game is Blackthorn, Rock and Roll Racing, and Lost Vikings.
And you can save now. You couldn't save before.
Yep. So and then Diablo. Yeah, we might as well go through it all. Diablo is what they're going to do with Diablo now is absolutely insane. They're going to bring back Diablo 2.
Yep.
I'm still mad at Wyatt Cheng. In my opinion, he still doesn't get what people were saying to him. He was telling them, "Don't you guys have phones?" Like 2 years ago. You can't say that. You can think it all you want. You just can't say that.
Yeah.
And then he tries to walk it back this year when he says basically, he didn't mean to say it. What he actually wants to say is something to the effect of, I meant to say that, Diablo 4 is coming, but I couldn't say that yet because it wasn't announced.
Yeah. He's still trying to pitch Diablo Immortal on mobile, and it's like, that's not what people want to hear. They want to hear Diablo 4 release date or something.
No, you're missing the point. In my opinion, the point of the entire controversy is the Diablo game has to be playable on the PC. Period. Full stop. You can add whatever you want. Diablo 2 is a PC game. They added controller support and they added console play with what's it called? Resurrected.
Yeah.
Right? They added that to PC game. You cannot, in my opinion, in good conscience, as a developer, tell a fan that, oh yeah, we are going to bring out so much content. As a diehard fan, I really, really love, for me, Diablo is my second favorite Blizzard game. I want to experience the story. I want to play it. I'm not going to play Immortal because I cannot play it on PC. For me, that is not Diablo. As long as I can't play it on my PC. And that's the sad part about it. Him hyping it up and telling us the people that are really big Diablo fans, we're going to put so much story, so much development, so much this, that, and the other into this measly mobile game. You can't do that in good conscience. If you try to justify a move like that, you miss the entire community's vibe. It just doesn't work, in my opinion. So that's something. And another thing that I have to say here, Blizzard, think about what you're doing with the collection for Diablo 2. Because if you want to deliver us the resurrected super mega collection, Primeval collection,
right,
which is totally fine, you can do that. It includes Diablo 2 Resurrected. It includes a Mephisto pet and a Hatred Grasp Wings for Diablo 3. Perfect. But it includes Diablo 3 Eternal Collection as well. What? Most of the people that want the pets have the Diablo 3 game already. Why do you want us to buy an additional copy of a game we already have for the same account, just so you can make $15 more off of us?
Right.
It's a redundant purchase. Not even redundant, it's a useless purchase. Why? Make 4 stages out of it. At the moment, you have 3 different versions of it. You can buy one. Can't even see pre-purchase here. Let me just quickly pull it up before I'm raging and telling wrong information here. So we have the Resurrected,
right?
That costs 40 euros, so it's probably cost $40 as well. And that's the Resurrected game, and then you can buy the Eternal Collection as an upgrade, the Primeval Collection upgrade.
But you're saying that they shouldn't have.
They should just add the game, the Diablo 3 on top.
Gotcha.
They just shouldn't sell us a game for more money that we already have. Why would you want to buy World of Warcraft? If I were to go and offer you a digital pack of World of Warcraft. And I'm going to say, oh, yeah, you can have the mount and the pet for World of Warcraft.
Right.
But please, if you want the mount and the pet, and you already subscribed and you already own the game, but please buy for $30, buy an additional copy of World of Warcraft. But you can only have one on your account. What's the logic in that other
Right,
than, oh
there
yeah,
isn't
Blizzard, I
any.
want more money?
Right.
That's something that I don't want to see hardly any logic. There's no logic in it. Again, other than what goes between my thumb and my finger next to that. So, you know this one.
Dollar bill, almighty dollar.
Yeah, it's the almighty dollar. No more, no less. So, yeah. And this is coming from Ferengi, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. The liquidation board.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Right,
okay.
the liquidation board.
Yeah, so that's... the Burning Crusade, let's quickly finish the World of Warcraft. We are going to see the template built for, much like with the vanilla, we have to distinguish even further now.
Right.
Previously, it was World of Warcraft Classic. Mm-hmm. Now it's going to be Vanilla Classic and TBC Classic.
Right.
Because both are called Classic, and it's called the Classic games. So with the Burning Crusade Classic, the template version is the latest. The last version is 2.4.3. They're going to roll back a couple of things, they said, and stagger the release, much like they did with the Vanilla Classic. Which is totally understandable and should be that way. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that apparently, from what I gather, that they're not going to make zone changes. What I mean by that is I would like to play the original Shadow Moon Valley zone. Because that was the first major zone change they ever made in World of Warcraft, where as a result of the release of the Black Temple, they changed the quests in a specific area of the Shadow Moon Valley to reflect the fact that they've dealt with Illidan, and Illidan had dealt with us, and the release and the introduction of the bosses in Black Temple. So the lead up quests to the Black Temple raid were redundant. Because you couldn't, they were like, you couldn't, if you already know, if they're dead, if we've dealt with them, with the bosses, and there is no way to get from, oh yeah, I'm going to prepare to deal with them, to, yes, we've dealt with them already. They said that they had to change that and reflect the defeat of the bosses in subsequent patches. It's a little complicated. They didn't do as well as they did later on because it was the first time that they've ever done it. And we all learn from our mistakes, obviously. But I still would like to see the pre 2.1 version of the Shadow Moon Valley. But I don't think we're going to see it. So that's the only caveat for me in the... And one more thing, if you play Vanilla Classic, you can choose where your tune that you take from Vanilla Classic where you want to take it. So if you want to stay in Vanilla Classic and leave your tune at level 60 and continue playing there, you can. If you want to take it into the Burning Crusade, you can do that too. As soon as you log into your tune for the first time, you get a prompt, you get a choice, and that's final and irreversible. So they said they were going to take a snapshot of the condition that the characters are in on the day when the pre-patch for the Burning Crusade launches. And then that's basically the point in time where the conditions that the character are in freezes. So, and then you get moved to another realm. If you choose to stay in vanilla, your character get moved to another realm, to a vanilla-specific realm, and the realm that you created your tune on will progress as a Burning Crusade Classic realm.
Oh, nice.
So
you have an option.
You have an option, yes. And you can buy a boost, one per account, if you want to, that get a character boosted to 58. And you can pay, they said you can pay a fee. Which is an elegant way to phrase it. If you want, and this is quite unique and quite ingenious. If you want your vanilla classic character to be split in two.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you want one version to stay in vanilla classic, go to the other realm.
Yep.
And you still want to take a copy of that character and progress it into the Burning Crusade. So they didn't say modest, but I would assume it's not that much of a modest fee.
Right.
We all know Blizzard. For a fee, you can have that split happen. So you can then make two characters out of one and play those tunes separately. And I think that's it for now.
Okie dokie. Well, that was a really good roundup of BlizzCon. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Oh, sure, no problem. If there is more, I'll add it next week.
Okie dokie. All right. Well, let's get started.
Let me just check the chat room really quick. If there's anything that I might have missed because I had.
Lost Cause was asking about the ethereals and the brokers, if there's a reason they're looking different or whatnot.
Oh.
The ethereals, this is pure speculation. Some people say it's a coincidence. Yeah. Other people say that there is a similarity to where they come from, that they might originate from the same base race.
Right.
But Koresh, I think that's what their home planet is called, if I remember correctly. That's where the ethereals come from. They apparently the brokers come from the in-between, somewhere in the in-between. So if you
out there,
it's
there
literally
quite a bit.
it is literally out there. So if you fly from Oribos to one of the Covenant zones, you cross the in-between, much like you cross if you fly from Hellfire Peninsula down to Shadow Moon Valley or up to Nether, what was it called? Nether Storm. You fly through the what's it called? Twisted Nether.
Twisted Nether, yes.
Yeah. So that's basically the same. If you were to say that some species were from the Twisted Nether,
right? Okay.
Same is here with the in between. I always found it a curious name,
right?
That still doesn't mean that they can't be originating from the same base race. Might be that much like the elves on Azeroth have the trolls developed into the night elves. The night elves evolved to the high elves. The high elves developed into the blood elves.
Right.
Blood elves developed some of them into the void elves and so forth. Right. So it doesn't mean that there isn't. It's not. There is no way to determine if it's the case. It's just we don't know yet.
Right.
But there are strong indications that the chance of some similarities are higher than 50-50.
Right.
Because if you look at the architecture, if you look in Blaze Edge Mountains or in Netherstorm, and you see the
structures,
their portals they have.
It seems to be they're anchored to Outland.
No, that's not what I'm wanting to put. The architecture of these portal contraptions,
right.
And then you go to the brokers area next to the Theater of Pain in Maldraxxus.
Yeah.
You can see a similar yet different portal structure that holds the portal, that creates the portal. Right. It's eerily similar yet different.
Yeah.
So, again, Ethereal's consortium, and as you said, Last Cause, the Ethereals and the consortium, that's a monetary, profit-oriented thing too, much as the cartels and the brokers. So there are similarities in the cultures there as well. So again, if if I had to venture a guess as for how likely it is that there are some similarities in history, in past history, I would definitely be, for me, it would be quite a bit higher than 50-50.
Right.
That's how far I'm willing to go. Lost cause.
All right. Thank you, Lost Cause. Anyone else?
No other questions from the chat room.
Okay.
As far as we can tell.
Cool.
All right.
I need a 2-minute break for a drink.
I've had a fantastic weekend. Wow. It's very comforting. Those battlegrounds where you're not necessarily putting out more damage, but you feel like you're contributing more by pushing all the buttons all at once. Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Constructs, how has your week in WoW been?
My week in WoW has been pretty dang good if you consider that the IRL has been really bad for me. The mission table has surprisingly yielded some pets.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting that, but I got a Spirited Skyfall, a Runelight Leaper, and a Devouring Animite is the one that I think is on now. So those quests are level 36 elite quests, and my guys are level 32, so I wasn't sure that they'd be able to complete the mission, so I sent them on with 2 tanks. One tank basically nerfs the damage by 20% every second turn, so that considerably decreases the amount of hits they take, because the level 36 elite missions they're hard. But anyway, I got through them with like one guy standing, and like in order to heal my guys, it was like 1,400 anima, and I'm like, I'm not spending that. I'm waiting for the health to regenerate by itself. But then another pet quest comes up. It's like, I want that pet. You can buy them off the auction house, apparently. So, and by the looks of them, one of them looks like it's a Night Fae thing. One of them looks like it's a Maldraxxus thing. Mm-hmm. One of them looks like a little, whatchamacallit, unicorn. So I'm like, they're totally pulling at people's heartstrings. Because, if you got that hunter pet that looks like a unicorn, and you want to have a pet unicorn following you at the same time, you gotta have the matching
How cool
set.
would that be? That would be so cool.
And then you ride a unicorn as well.
And then you ride a unicorn, the Warforged Nightmare or something.
Yeah,
I still have to get that. I have to look up the strat on that. But I was doing quests for anima last night because I figured if I do all the quests to collect all the anima that I can as quick as I can, which means I really neglected the Love Rocket this year. I did it like once per character per day. Today I'm doing it more because I have a little bit more time to spend on that. And it's not like mentally draining, but doing the quest for anima, you have to be focused. You have to look at the whole map, the 4 maps, and then you have to fly out to all the different areas, and then you have to collect all the anima for each individual quest, and then you get trinket upgrade. I got the epic achievement, so I got all my gear purple, which is nice. So it's all 187 or above. So I got 2 trinkets that are 194. I don't have as much leech, but it doesn't matter because my damage output is higher, so I don't need as much time to survive whatever. So it's immensely gratifying to just mows through stuff easily. And I got a pair of 203 gloves that are a little bit better than my 200 gloves, which has leech. And I had to equip them because I wanted my high item level to be just a little bit higher. It's 197. So I have higher gear than what drops in LFR. LFR gear is 187 or 194, depending if you get a proc or not. So I'm super excited to get stuff, to go for stuff, and to try and get the Love Rocket. But I don't have much hope. I've heard of 3 people getting it this year. congrats to them. I heard one guy got it on the 69th try. I don't know if that's good or bad. He said it's probably 1,000 attempts over the years.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that's, if you think about it, if it's 0.3%, that's 1 in 3,000. So that's like 1,000 attempts is not bad. But the month of February is just a real IRL tough in life month for me. I just never seem to hit it right unless I book vacation in the middle of it. And I looked this year what vacation I got. My first week of vacation is in June. So I thought, oh, well, no Love Rocket this year. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying it. I'm doing it half-heartedly because I get discouraged. But it is what it is. I mean, whatchamacallit, the Hive Mind is still one of my favorite mounts. I equip it on my third account every time I get on that character because I earned it on that character, and my priest was invaluable towards getting that achievement, and I was really glad to have the two of you help me out for that because it was like I didn't know how else to get it, and I wanted it real bad. I got the Riddler's Mindworm because I got invited to a group. Like I queued up for it, and somebody had already done all the work. You only had to go to the dungeon. All the mobs were dead. You go straight to the card. You click on the card, and then you go to the next dungeon. You do the next thing, and at the end, just loot. And that's all I had to do for the Riddler's Mindworm. The Warforged Nightmare. I think there's an add-on for that, so probably going to look that up. I'm out of boosts. I don't have any more boosts, and I'm not going to buy.
The Lucid Nightmare, the Warforged Nightmare is a storm.
Is it the Lucid Nightmare?
Yep.
Okay. So, the Lucid Nightmare, then, I guess. And I'm doing a little bit of messing around right now on my last. I think I have 4 characters that can run the loot box for the Love Rocket, and they're trying not too hard. And I have a character in Deep Home that's looking to see if the Aeonax spawns for April. Hasn't spawned yet. Oh. Like I said, I only saw it once in 9 years. And the pets I got, they come in green. So if you want them blue, you have to have stones. So every time I see a quest for like one of the blue stones, I run the quest to have an extra stone nearby. So I always have 4 to 5 stones handy just in case. And I keep a purple stone in one of my bags in case I need that pet for like a do or die pet battle that I don't have the time to level.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Every day or every second day, I go to Shadow Moon Valley and I do a pet battle with my hunter to earn XP and to also get 12 levels on Ashley's little pet battle quest. Because that's super easy. You get 12 levels and then you're like ahead. So I leave the hunter right in front of where she is, and he earns pet charms, and he gathers XP, and he gets 12 levels just by logging in, basically. So level 1 to 12 is easily done every day or every couple of days. So I don't have that many level 1 pets left. I'm running out of pets. So I don't know what I'm going to do to earn more. I'm hoping it goes well for me. I have a couple spider pets on my hunter to Prishna, but I should really get a few more spiders. But I don't know how you get more than 5 spiders. How do you get more than? You have to put some in your stable,
right?
Yeah, I don't know how the stable works. I got to follow a tutorial on that or something.
Yeah.
But the normal hunter stable, you could just go to your stable master. And there's
you can have up to 50, right? Or is it Beast Mastery? I get up to 50.
I think it's more by now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice.
But you just basically you get the UI consists of 2 sections. On the left side is the smaller one where you see your currently in use hunter pets, and you can basically drag and drop them into the stable, and then you can exchange them or just leave the slot
Stable Master
unused, and then catch another one.
Rider, is that the Stable Master? No.
We're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live.
I have to try that today because I've been putting that off for years.
Just go to the mini map and choose the icon.
My hunter mini map is full of green dots because I have the
turn them off.
Humanoids.
You can turn it off.
Yeah, you can turn them off for a second and turn them back on.
Turn humanoid tracking off.
Yeah.
Dungeon Q popped. So that's anyways, I think I'll stop it here because all the stuff you said about BlizzCon was really instructional, and I had to go back and watch the videos on YouTube.
Right.
But yeah, I like the part with Ian Hazacostas where he's explaining stuff. I like the part with the voice actor panel. That's always makes me cry.
Not even going to get started.
Oh yeah, it was rough. And whatchamacallit, but we love Blizzard and we love Blizzard games and whatchamacallit.
And this was the best they could do considering the circumstances. And it was nice that they did it. You know, it was
super awesome that they did it. Yes,
right. And it was free. They could have easily charged us $9.95 or something. Yeah. But it was free.
They basically did charge us for
something. They're charging us for the charity pet, which basically everybody's gonna get bananas no matter what happens.
Right.
And bananas back in the day that was 30,000 gold or whatever. Oops. So I have 2 bananas, so I'll get a third one. And if they get the gold for charity Médecins Sans Frontières, which is Doctors Without Borders, then we get an extra pet, which will be a sloth that you can carry on your back and it shows off.
Yeah. Oh, how nice!
So
that's all right.
How that works apparently is you can donate to the charity, which is Doctors Without Borders.
Right.
Yes.
And you don't buy the pet. What you do is within a given period of time, you donate a amount of your choosing.
Exactly.
And then depending upon how much we end up having donated, that determines if we reach the threshold that they determined is adequate, then we get a second pet, and if not, then we just quote unquote only get bananas.
Yeah, but everyone will get the pet. It's not just 1 or 2 people. It's every
again. Yeah, as I said. Yeah. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm at the pet battle pet master.
Yeah.
Stable master.
And I go stable master. I like to stable my pet, and I have 20 pets.
Yeah.
No, 10 times 20.
200.
You can stable 200 pets.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll stable my Black Widow.
I need to get on my hunter more often.
This one. So I'll stable 2 pets, and
then what happens?
Do I
nothing. You just have you just have 2 free slots now where you can.
Yeah, I have 2 free slots so I can capture more pets. Perfect.
Yep, exactly. And then just
so I can capture the Hydra on this guy. I don't have the Hydra on this guy. I have it on another hunter. And then when you go to summon pets, where's your summon pet? Your whistle. It only shows you the pets that you have on you.
Exactly.
Right. Not the ones in the stable.
Not the ones in the stable. Perfect. Yeah.
Do you?
This one's Beast Mastery, so I don't know if he gets more pets than the.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I guess if you just change spec and it would.
I don't think your spec has any influence on the amount of stable slots.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. You still stable 200 pets.
Yeah, that should be. Wow. That would be weird if it did.
That is a lot of pets you can have.
Because who guarantees you that you are only going to stable?
Didn't there used to be a 100 pet in Classic that was best for everything? A lion that would have a 1 second interrupt.
Still, they've homogenized the abilities. The family abilities. They've introduced new families. There's so many changes they've made to pet. To hunter pets, it's not even funny. So, yeah.
All right. So I have 1 character left with the ability to run the Love Dungeon, and then I'm out of chances for this year. I don't think I'm getting up that early tomorrow.
Yeah, I may.
So I don't know. It depends on real life circumstances because
right.
Like my spouse had these migraines all week, and
oh no,
it just sucks for her. So when I get up, I just rush to see how she's doing, and if it's a good day, we open the blinds. If it's not a good day, all the blinds are closed all day, and we just hope and pray the next day is going to be better. So
so sorry.
Yeah, it is what it is. But that's been my week, and have had fun in WoW, and I've kind of kept it quiet over here by the computer. And I'm at 4,700 anima, so at 10,000 I upgrade my mission table again, so I can get my 10 character. I'm at Renown 34, so every week I go up 2 levels.
Yeah.
I collect my 20 souls, and I do my quest to collect 1,000 anima. So that's the first thing I do on reset is collect 1,000 anima. And then I go down to the mall to do my quest for my 900 rep to try and get a little bit better with Menagerie. And I could see how it'll be sped up down the road for other people to do it. But right now, Blizzard is kind of putting on the brakes to the profession grinding to keep us engaged longer, I guess. And for me, it's a third client in Shadowlands is probably going to allow me to do some weird, wacky stuff where I can summon people different places directly to the world quest, which is what I'm hoping to do at some point.
Again, as I said earlier, think about this. We have to, quote unquote, survive with the content we have now until at least June.
Oh, shoot.
The anima drought.
Yep.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks, everybody. Thanks, chat room, for visiting us.
What happened to Aprillian?
Aprillian was in the air on her mount, and I meant to hit the forward button to go fly forward, and I hit the dismount button.
So she went splat.
Yeah, that was really ugly. But it's okay, because, well, why don't we start my week?
All right.
Let's do that.
doing? With or without you. I get excited, I get giddy, and love making many alts. My dog is trying to poop for the Horde and for the Alliance. It was funny in my head.
Brilliant. How was your week in WoW?
My week in WoW has been good. But before I get into my week in WoW, and it's so sad, somebody posted something on Facebook. And I know sometimes we think Facebook is just a mind suck. But it's also an informational thing. And I want to read this. It's a quote by Kurt Vonnegut. And I apologize because it's a little bit long. But he writes, when I was 15, I spent a month working on an archaeological dig. I was talking to one of the archaeologists one day during our lunch break, and he asked those kinds of questions, getting to know you questions you ask young people. Do you play sports? What's your favorite subject? And I told him, no, I don't play sports. I do theater. I'm in choir. I play the violin and piano. I used to take art classes. And he went, wow, that's amazing. And I said, oh no, but I'm not good at any of them. And he said something then that I will never forget and which absolutely blew my mind because no one had ever said anything like it to me before. I don't think being good at things is the point of doing them. I think you've got all these wonderful experiences with different skills and that all teaches you things and makes you an interesting person no matter how well you do them. And that honestly changed my life because I went from a failure, someone who hadn't been talented enough at anything to excel, to someone who did things because I enjoyed them. I had been raised in such an achievement-oriented environment, so inundated with the myth of talent, with a capital T, that I thought it was only worth doing if you could win at them. And I am in tears right now because Kurt Vonnegut opened my eyes to something I felt personally inside, and I never knew how to really express it. And it's the fact that I can play WoW, and I can suck at it, but I can still enjoy it. And that has just changed the game for me because I have been in trying to play the next level of the game, trying to keep up with the current content. And I have felt like I'm not really enjoying this, but I got to get to level 60 because everybody else has a level 60 and I don't have a level. Well, I don't need to have a level 60. I don't need to do what everyone else is doing. I can just enjoy this and I have the experience and that is good enough for me. And I tell you what I have been doing this week. I have been pet battling. And I'm not even pet battling the right way. In fact, I just realized today that I need to change some of my parameters of my pets. But I've been pet battling. And I have been digging. And I have been doing cooking quests. And I have been I went farming for, I ended up spending some time in Dustswallow Marsh. And I came upon the Searing Whelps, and I had a flashback to, what was that, the Badlands, where we were farming Searing Whelps to get the dark whelplings.
Yeah.
And I went and I did that for a little while, and that was fun. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you are just playing and you're enjoying yourself, it is okay. And I thank Kurt Vonnegut, who is an author and just a generally good person. If you want to get some inspiration and you're feeling like a little bit down in this pandemic, go read some of his quotes because they will inspire you.
Can I add something before you?
Yes, continue? You can.
Because it's on the same topic.
Okay.
If you want to listen to and watch a similar topic, a person speaking similarly to the human mindset, human personality, go and watch the VOD from the BlizzConline World of Warcraft voiceover panel.
Okay.
because Deborah Wilson.
Oh yes, she's so good.
Is the voice of Draka. And what she says, I mean, granted, they don't have much time, each of them.
Right.
But what time she had, she took full advantage of. And she is exactly what you described there. She is, I mean, go and watch it, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, and I just want to add that if you are a player and you are playing just to have fun, go ahead and do it. Don't feel pressured that you got to be the maximum, that you got to get to 60, that you got to do all the things. You can even just go pick flowers if that's all you want to do. And that's the wonderful thing. I kind of forgot about World of Warcraft, but that I'm back into it because of that quote. And I'm really sad because somebody on my timeline posted that and I can't find it. I thought it was one person, and I just went back to their page and I didn't see it. So I'm going to have to try to figure out. And then one other thing before I get to the rest of my week. Another thing I found on Facebook. And it's so funny because I also play VR, and one of the things that Facebook has done is taken over this Oculus Quest. You have to have a Facebook account to be in VR, and people rail against it. Facebook is a totalitarian, but it is useful. I mean, I get to keep in touch with relatives. But somebody wrote a whole thing on Twitter and posted it on Facebook about a woman's response to Bill Maher complaining about the millennium. Now, I know technically I'm not a millennium. Technically, I think I'm Generation X. But Bill Maher was saying something about the millennials because they read comic books and they go to Comic-Con. And and this woman, and I wish I could remember because I can't find it. I was reading it and then it disappeared. But she pointed out that even though we still do anime, we go to Comic-Cons, we read comic books, we play video games, we're doing things that technically are supposed to be for our childhood. It's because we're reaching back to the joy of what brought us joy. And the fact that saying being an adult means that you can no longer embrace joy, that you have to go drudging for a company and work and do this. And I have been mocked by people at work because I play these games, and these same people, and I'm not mocking them, it's what you choose, sit in front of a TV all day. They come home and they sit in front of a TV and they watch TV shows. Now, I have no problems with watching TV shows. I actually watch some. I watch Perry Mason and Murder, She Wrote. So I understand, and a little bit of other things. But there's nothing wrong with playing video games. It's a joy. Even if I'm 58 and I play video games, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not Bill Maher. It's not some kind of ridiculous thing. It's not us wasting our time. It's us seeking joy in the way that we choose to seek joy. And for the record, if more of you played video games, you might be less stressed out. You might have lower blood pressure. You might find the joy in life that, and this extends to everybody that plays Comic-Con, that goes to Comic-Con, that does cosplay. I love people that do cosplay. I just think that I could never do it, but I just think that they are an amazing group of people who have embraced this field of enjoyment and taken it to the next level. And I just want to shout out, and especially to anybody that's playing casually in World of Warcraft or any game that they're playing. Do you enjoy you? You don't have to be up.
Be you.
Be you. You don't have to be at the top. Anyway, so I've been playing for the Love Rocket, haven't gotten it. I accidentally opened a box of chocolate when my bags were already full. Jesus. This should be a warning. I thought I was opening the box from the game, that you win, and it was a box of chocolate. And I'm like,
five kinds of chocolates in there.
I'll never use. I did finish a couple of quests in, what is it? Orboris or whatever. And Ouroboros. Yeah, I mean, they're good quests. They're nice. I just decided to take a break and enjoy myself. And there's lots of XP in digging. It's not as much in pet battles. I should probably wait for one of the pet battle weeks to really be doing it. But I did see that I need Northrend Tamer. So one of my things this week, because I could have Continental Tamer, but I need Northrend, and I could have. So I'm going through and just doing and having fun. And I think that's about it, what I've been doing. I'm hoping my income tax refund will be here soon. And when I do that, I'm going to open up April's account and give her 6 months so she can have wings and a special amount too. Uh-oh, what happened? Something happened bad. Oh, no, it's not bad. All right, and that's been my week.
Right.
Very nice.
Do you enjoy your life? And you don't have to be the best. You could just enjoy it. It's good enough.
I find it very, very easy to be true. Am alle schönsten war es doch zu Haus, und doch zog mich einst in die Welt hinaus, und in der Ferne suchte ich mein Glück. Wer kennt den Weg zurück?
And now it's time for Add-on Spotlight and a whole bunch of other things with Grand Negus. Grand Negus, what do you have for us this week?
I wanted to mention this earlier when Constructs talked about the hunter pets.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it now because it's works better if I can get some peace of mind. This friggin' thing, leave me be. Spriggans are.
Oh yeah, I hate that quest.
Not nice people.
They're not nice, no.
No. Okay. Again, when Constructs talked about the hunter pets, I thought, since I hadn't decided on an add-on to talk about today, I might as well talk about hunter pet add-on.
How fortuitous.
How fortuitous. So we are going to quickly go over an add-on that, and wouldn't you know it, is called Hunter Pets.
Oh.
It is add-on that can help you find the pets that you want to tame. Find not only by looking at the looking for the pet that you decided you want to capture, you want to tame, but also you can go to a zone and you can see what pets are available in that zone.
Oh.
So let me just quickly...
That's very helpful.
Yeah. So let me quickly change over to one of my hunter characters so I can talk a little more about it. It basically it basically gives you an additional tab in the appearances tab,
right,
or in the collections tab. I can't remember. Right. It's like one or the other, and that is basically a list of all the pets that there are.
Oh wow!
If you enter a zone, you can set it so that it will tell you in chat, this zone you just entered has, as an example, 47 pets, of which 34 have a unique look. So sometimes there are pets, especially in the lower levels, that have different names, but still look the same.
Yeah.
Like with the cats in Dark Shore, or with the bears in God knows where. Many of the lower level bears look alike.
Yeah.
That's racist. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Oh my God.
I apologize.
They use the same model.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Good. Okay. Good.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, basically and then you can look for a specific pet, either by name, by species, by type, by family, by zone, by whatever. There are quite a few filter options. So I really, and you have, if you so choose, a visual representation, much like you have in the pet journal or in the mount journal. You have a picture of the respective pet or mount. Same in the hunter pets. You have a representation of how the hunter pet looks. I always liked the add-on. It wasn't necessarily as useful for me because I'm not the absolute must-have every single hunter pet person.
Right.
It's just that I remember back in the day, a guildmate when I still played on the EU side, and we just had Cataclysm release, and we came to the patch. What was it? 4.1, where we opened the area down by Shrine of Malorn to go into the Firelands, to the invasion, where you could get the special pets, the black cat, and what else? He was so after that cat. He was like camping.
Cataclysm, you had the yellow pets, which were elites. Some of them were hard to catch, like the spiders and whatnot.
Right.
because they did such good damage. So you almost had to take a healer with you to get the pets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I'm just see. This is how long it's been since I've used this add-on. Apparently, they renamed the add-on. I'm just noticing now. Now it's called the Hunter's Menagerie.
Oh,
nice!
It's
a play off of the Menagerie in the Garrison.
Yeah. It is, but that's, just see, where are we? Come on. We're doing this live, guys.
We're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live.
It's been updated. Let me just see. View on Curse. Here we go.
Oh, shoot. What am I doing?
There we go. It's been updated the last time July 9th, 2020. So it apparently doesn't include Shadowlands.
Right.
But still, if you want to use it, it's still a totally valid add-on. And so you have the additional tab, and you can have up top where in the pet and mount journal you see your usable mounts and unique pets and total pets. With this add-on, you have tameable pets and unique looks as distinct numerical values. So, and if you look at the list that you see on the left side, much again like the mount journal, you will have, in addition to an icon, you will have the name, and you will have the icon for the respective expansion that the pet is from. So Legion, Cata for Cataclysm, Mists for Mist of Pandaria. So you can see at one glance if when you scroll down the list, if it's potentially the right one, just by looking at the indicator to see if it's from the right expansion. So if you know that it's the bear from Grizzly Hills, you know that it's gotta have you know that it's gotta have the Wrath icon.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, then it's not the right one. So it's so I really like the add-on, and let me just quickly see if I have it now. I'm in the C H there. Moon Runes Hunter's Menagerie. In parentheses, Hunter Pets. That's the old name. So that's why I was referring to it as Hunter Pets, because I'm not sure if he continued the work on it from another author or just chose to rename it altogether, but that's beside the point. I really like the fact that that you have the option of looking for a hunter pet without, as with so many other things, without having to leave the game.
Right.
So if you look at the section, at the add-on spotlight section in the show notes, you'll see one of the screenshots from the curse page. That tells you, that shows you the list and the information. Just see if we have more images. Here is one more of the where is it? There we are. One more with more filters. I'm really, again, with the nice thing about these add-ons, regardless of which add-on it is that you have all these filters that they add, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, add new filters, and that makes the search process much more comfortable, much easier. So, let's see, there we go. Yeah, and it has a stabled pet browser as well. So, constructs what we were talking.
Oh, so would it load your own stable?
Yeah, so you would know if you already have this pet or not.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need to go to, as Constructs did earlier, you don't need to go to the stable master to see the content of your stables.
Oh, that's helpful. That's very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might not have all your Shadowland pets, but it'll have all the classic ones.
Right.
Yep. Right. Exactly. And if you look at your collections tab, the little collections tab in the micro bar, that's where the additional tab is located. Next to the appearances tab, it will tell you that it goes by hunter pets there. So it's not Pet Menagerie. There, the tab is called Hunter Pets. So both names are okay. One thing I just noticed now that I'm standing with my hunter, I'm standing in Ouroboros.
Yeah.
And it says Tameable Pets 0, usable looks, unique looks 0.
Oh, what does that mean?
Because
you're in Shadowland.
Because I'm in a zone that doesn't have any tameable pets. What you can do, there is a little box you could check and uncheck that is called Show Only Pets Tameable in Current Zone. So if you uncheck that box, you'll have access to the entire list regardless of where you are. And then once you, as you can see in the show notes, when you click on one of the pets from the list, you get the name, you get the location, you get the item, the level. Granted, it's the pre-squish level value because, again, it's not updated yet for Shadowlands. You get the type and you get the special abilities. The bite, in the case of the mana scale basilisk, which is the one that I've chosen at the moment, it's bite and stone scales. So, and it's a full 3D version that you can drag and turn around and whatnot. So,
oh, nice! That's very nice.
Mm-hmm. You can zoom in, although I'm not sure how nice it is to zoom in on the jaw of a basilisk. Okay. And then you have down in the lower right-hand corner, you have the button, the red button for stabled pets. And once you open that, you'll see the stable slots, and you can even access other hunters, your other hunters' stables.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's cross account. No, not cross account. It's account wide.
Right, account wide.
So, yeah. Again, the add-on is called the Hunter's Menagerie on Curse. Goes by the name Hunter Pets as well in-game. And the main features are you can look for hunter pets by zone, by type, by rarity even. You can filter by elite, by rares, exotic, normal, alphabetic, by expansion, by buffs and family. If you want a tenacity pet, if you want a pet that can dodge, if you want a slow pet, if you want a ferocity pet, if you want a pet that can make mortal wounds, whatever. There are like so many options for filtering. I really like this add-on, and for a hunter, it's really nice if you are one of the hunters that likes to literally hunt for the pets.
Right.
In my opinion, it's one of the better add-ons. We can hope that they eventually are going to update it
to Shadowlands.
Level. I mean, granted, it's not an easy feat to import all the 3D things from the model view and whatnot. That might be a reason why it takes so long. I don't know. I'm not going to hypothesize anything. I'm just saying that might. So, yeah, that's the add-on. one thing that there is that you need to be aware of, since it's not supported by Shadowlands. There are some quirks with the add-on. One is a quite unique one, and that is if you want to close the window by using the X in the upper right-hand corner, doesn't work. You have to switch to another tab in the collections window to close the collections window. It just doesn't work. It's no big thing. You can use escape to close the window if you don't want to choose another tab and then close it. I'm just saying the X button doesn't close the window. You can hit it 100,000 times. It doesn't work. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. As for my week, beyond this, I was fortunate enough to be with Frasley from Frazzlecast in her chat the other on both days.
Yeah.
And we really had fun talking about all the things, Blizzard, BlizzConline, and I'm thankful that I got to be there, and thanks, Frasley. Thank you very much. Again, something that I was reminded of again, and this happens every time, in one way or another. And what I said earlier with regards to Sylvanas, it's still valid that I'm not going to play retail if Blizzard decides to kill her. That still does not mean that I'm going to love the Blizzard community any less.
Right.
Because in my opinion, and I've said this before in years past, as great as BlizzCon is, and BlizzConline,
it's the community.
It's the community that makes the games what they are, bind us together. So you can say what you want about, you can critique as many of the devs as you want for the decisions that they make about the games that they're responsible for, which most oftentimes is valid. But the community around the games is what is the heart and the soul of it all. And that's what's essential. That's the essential aspect for me. That's all about, it's all about the community. I checked Twitter earlier, yesterday, when they talked about all the rituals that we couldn't observe because we weren't there physically.
Right. Oh my God, so many of them.
No, rituals as going to Roscoe's to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a meal but still, it's a ritual.
If I hadn't been at work, I would have loved to have done a Zoom watch. That would have been really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so that's like on Sundays after BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Many people go to Disneyland together.
Right.
So that's the thing where the community basically
takes over.
Yeah, walks one block over and goes to Disneyland. The fact that and this is where I'm tearing up more often than not, when I saw the first trailer for Picard, and I saw him walk towards the new Starfleet headquarters.
Right.
And it being the Anaheim Convention Center. It was like, I have 2 homes in one now.
Right, exactly. 2 homes in one, exactly.
It's that's like something that, and when you've been, I'm not saying I'm the ultimate BlizzCon goer, but I've only, quote unquote, only been there 4 times. So there are still
only
places.
Only 4 times, he says.
I'm here 4 times.
I'm here 4 times.
The point I want to make is,
I got a blood-soaked invitation that I can't use until 1160. Until on level 60. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And you can't use it yet because the event hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
Right.
The Brothers Guild hasn't started yet. So keep that in your back pocket until it's time. So blood-soaked invitation is for the Brothers Guild.
Yes.
So what I wanted to get at is the fact that even though I've been there 4 times, I still haven't seen everything there.
And that's amazing.
No, meaning I didn't have time to go outside much. So if you live in a city for a certain period of time, you think that you've seen everything. But still, once in a while, you notice this or that or the other. Those small things about a building or something else, or pavement on the street, or markings here or there. You don't know everything about your surroundings. But more often than not, I could identify the different areas in the convention center area where they filmed the certain scenes.
Oh,
I could say, that was like on the left side, or on the right side, or around the fountain. You see where I'm going? It's something where you feel as if you're part of the scene because you know it so well. It's as if they filmed a scene in your backyard or in your front yard because you know it so well. And that's something where I really get emotional, because I love that place and what it means to me with regards to BlizzCon. so much. And then to have it be part of Star Trek as well. It's like the ultimate
right, exactly
thing. So that's something that, yeah, it's just awesome. And then having all the contests, the cosplay contest, the music contest, the art contest, having all that brought in, even though it's virtual, having the people that make the cosplay film their costumes literally in their backyards, or sometimes, and send them in to the contest. It's just absolutely amazing. So it's, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm amazed every time that Blizzard does that, and how they do it. So yeah, in game I haven't done much since I literally was not. I haven't been myself for a couple of days since we got the news that Sylvanas was going to be the final boss of the new raid. So yeah, I don't know what to make of it, and that's probably for the better. So that's basically all I have to say. That's been my week.
Okie dokie. I feel your pain.
Hello, everybody. Kyle here. Mash that thing. Yep, that's dead. Yay, whoop, and then just keep going. Not a boring cake in the walk anymore. Awesome, amazing. Talk to you again next week. Take care. Bye.
And Kyle writes, he says his title of his email was Still Alive, Just Busy. Hello, everyone. Sorry that I have not had much time lately to make a blast from the past. It's okay, Kyle. We miss it, but we understand. School has been busy. We just transitioned from complete online learning to hybrid. Half students in buildings, half learning at home. Switch every other day. Wow, that must be complicated, but you have to do what you have to do to be safe. Now our school is thinking about going totally back in person in March. Scary. Somehow it is now safe for me to have 30 to 40 students in the same room. I can't get that. And I mean, I know how hard it is to have people, adults, wear their mask. I can't imagine what it must be like to have kids. I have not had too much exciting WoW time. Mostly some leveling on my rogue through Bastion and some ferrying of alts over to Oribus. Ooh, nice job. I feel like death ferrying my alts across the river Styx in my barge. To play a parody of Eddie Izzard, come, my alts. It is your time. We go to the land of the dead. Come. We will travel across the maw. 2, please. 1 and 1 OAP. What? Are you coming? I hope I did that justice. And some of my alts go, no, we're going to stay here and manage banks and auction houses where it's safe. Where it's safe, I added. Hope you are all doing well, and hopefully I'll find a moment to get another blast from the past and some exciting WoW time in. Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. It's always good to hear from you. And yes, we understand 100%. And we wish you all the best and to be safe. And yeah, thank you. Anything you want to add to that, guys?
We totally get the IRL part.
Yeah.
And we feel for you.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah,
right.
my girlfriend and her little one, they're like, yeah, the little one, she's always, Mommy, is it okay if I don't want to go back to school?
I don't blame her. Yeah. I don't blame her.
It's like she loves. No, the thing is, she loves the remote learning way more than in person.
Right.
Yeah.
It's probably more focusing, for some people,
Yeah, she's.
All right.
Yeah, I get it.
We will be back here in a week. Same bat channel, same bat station. I'm Aprillian for the Horde.
I'm Constrax for the Pet Battles.
This has been Grand Negus, Rule of Acquisition, number 19. Satisfaction is not guaranteed. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, everybody. Thanks, chat room.
Thanks, chat room.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, somebody wants to go out for a walk.
I'll
try to get this out tonight. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
I'll see you next week.
Yep.